Okay, so good evening. Good evening. So just waiting for you guys to join us on Instagram and Telegram. For those who are on Telegram, this is going to be audio class. So if you want to see me, then you can jump onto the Instagram, and my handle is Amanjot Core 108. Okay, how's everyone this evening? Waiting a few minutes. That we are started. I've prepared some really cool topic for you tonight. So yeah, should be fun. Okay, so yes, for those who are going to watch this in recording, you can let me know with your comments where you're from and what's your name, because you know sometimes Instagram and Telegram handles have funny names, so it would be nice to know your name. Would be nice to meet you. And yeah, I'm so happy to be here tonight and to just meet you in this way. It's lovely. And I have prepared some really cool stuff tonight, so we're going to do a little bit of diving deep into what I've been doing for the past 15 years. I'll tell you about my story, and then we'll do a bit of practice, and then I'll tell you about the bonuses and gifts I have prepared. So some really cool stuff, exciting. For example, I know we're all coming up to Christmas now already, right? We're almost at the end of December. Evening. Oh, how lovely to see you again, because I saw you in real life the other day, didn't I? Lovely to have you with us this evening. So yeah, we almost through November, and Christmas Christmas is upon us. Wonderful. Do you mind saying where you are and your real name? I mean, yeah, your real name is Patty. Is it Patty? Is that the English name, or is it different name? That would be interesting. Yeah, so we almost on the runway to Christmas, and so lots of anxiety is going to kick in, and and people are going crazy without already enough stress on their plate as it is. So Peyton is your name. Oh, excellent. You're in Broken House now. Neighbor. And you're from Canada. How wonderful. How wonderful. Super, super. Lovely. Lovely to have you on. So, yeah, I was going to talk tonight about, what I have been doing for the past 15 years. And, just to share with you my story and how I've kind of came to what I do now, although I've been doing other things, and I kind of benefiting from it, and happy married, and happy mummy, and my health is really good at the moment, so all good stuff. So how does that sound? Is that interesting? I've actually was watching a series on Gaia today about sound, and super excellent. Yeah, I'll tell you now. So this series on Gaia about sound, and they said thing that Einstein said, like in the middle of 20th century, which is like probably more than 100 years ago soon. Einstein said that you can't solve a problem with the same level of thinking that created it. And I was like, that really caught me, because it's all about exactly that. Our mind is racing 100 miles an hour nowadays. It's just so crazy, even without Christmas. And to have this level of awareness about your mind, and to have the level of awareness about what you want in life and how you want your life to be, and to guide it, it's like an absolutely different level, because so many people are walking around with foggy mind, with depleted nervous system, fatigue, and it's just, people are just really, really struggling, and hiya, just if you can tell us your name and where you are in the world, that would be lovely. I'd like to meet you. Nizimnaya. So having the clarity of the mind nowadays is like gold dust, honestly. So let me tell you about myself. I have been very heavily into fashion design. I used to work in Savile Row in London, doing all these suits for celebrities, and cutting them, and meeting the clients, and checking the stock, and sewing, like all of that funky stuff. But the life was, even then, that was like 15, 20 years ago. The life then was already so busy. I remember I used to smoke as well. I remember going outside in my lunch break, or lunch 15 minutes and just standing there with my cigarette. I had a posh cigarette, Davidoff's. I remember those like really thin ones. And I was standing there, and I remember people were just rushing past me, there. And I used to just stress me out by looking at them, let alone like rushing like them like a headless chicken. So, but 20 years on, and we're even worse. There's so much information is thrown at us, so much going on. So it's just crazy. So anyway, this is what another thing I was going to tell you today is about the disease that I've healed for myself and for my son. So I will tell you. So I came to a Kundalini yoga class, which I wasn't planning to as such. Somebody recommended it to me, and I thought, okay, well, why not? I'll go try. So I went to that class, and for me, it was just like I've arrived, like literally arrived. I had an out-of-body experience. I had vision of myself sitting on the white lotus, all dressed in white, with a beautiful white headdress and like a veil. And so I was like, oh my goodness, it's just so beautiful. I felt so elated. And I was like, okay, I'll come back again for the same vision. Now, this vision never came back, but but actually what I do now is when I teach, I wear all white, and sometimes I do have head covering, a turban, and you can wear it with a veil, and so you look like a princess. It's just like, wow, the best dressing up, and you can have all the gems and everything. But beyond that, what started to happen in my life, because if you imagine, at the time I was a single mom. I was very stretched money-wise, financially. I remember only having like £20 at the end of the month. That was my extra that was left over. Like, you couldn't do anything. I couldn't go out. I couldn't have any takeaways. I had to buy very cheaply all the food, and there was just no time for enjoyment or anything. I remember being at work. I was working for Bunzel. It's the cleaning company, cleaning supplies. I think they're still going. But I remember I was working in the office. I remember feeling how the walls of the office were getting closer and closer every day onto me. It's like I was being absolutely boxed in and absolutely pressed into this very, very tiny box, which was very scary. And I just felt no way out. Does that sound familiar? Anybody felt like that before? Let me know. So I was feeling like that. I thought, okay, I need to do something about it. And I went to totally right. I was looking for other jobs. I had like 10 interviews and it was going nowhere. And I was like, oh my God, what is happening? Is it me? Am I stupid? Am I like, I don't understand things? Okay, fair enough. I'm not English. I don't know the language that well, but I'm working now and it's paying fine, but I just need some extra. And I was in so much desperation that I just felt like there was no way out. So I went to that yoga class and it did something to me. It opened up that little glimmer of hope and that little creativity channel that I could step outside the box. And so from then on, things started to change. I have met my new partner. I mean, I am married to him now, and this is my third marriage. So trust me, I have tried, and my previous relationships were shit. I have been physically abused by my first husband, and with my second one, I was mentally abused with my second husband. So like, I got it totally wrong with my boyfriends, and it just wasn't a pretty case. So if that sounds true to you, just let me know. How are your relationships going? Are you feeling stuck? Are you feeling like your relationship could do with a bit of a nip and tuck and a bit of a helping hand? So at the point when I've met my now husband, I was like, okay, I'm done with relationships. I'm not meeting anymore. Not getting married. That's it. I'm on my own for the rest of my life. That was my decision. I remember it really clearly. And here we are, 15 years on, and we're together. We're still together, and we're still very much in love, and we are present for each other. So, things started to shift. I decided to go to learn more, to the Teacher Training, I decided to learn the skill of this amazing science that can change so many things. Hiya! Evening! And I decided that I want to learn this science. I want to learn how it can not only work for me, but it can work for others, how I can share it with others, because I was just so inspired, because it helped me so much, and it improved my finances, improved my wealth, improved my health as well. So going on to the health subject, so what I used to have a thyroid problem, and I've healed it once about 8 years ago, but a year ago it came back again. And I knew that it had to do with my mental state. So I totally believe that all of that, our illnesses, diseases, all happen from the mental state, because our thoughts create our reality, and our thoughts create our body as well. I see in classes when people do some breath, do some sets, do some kriyas, they even change in their face within just 1 hour, which is incredible. If you have any illnesses or diseases, would you mind sharing what it is your health issue, what it is you're struggling with? So I've had the thyroid, and my son had asthma, and I have healed it just with the practice which I was doing every single day, and healing it from the place of stillness and the place of calm and peace, which I started to grow and cultivate within myself. So my son used to, especially during autumn or spring, as soon as the seasons change, he would have asthma episodes. So he'd have to be sprayed into his mouth, this sprayer, up to 10 puffs every 4 hours. So what it means, you have to do it overnight as well, so you don't get very good sleep. So you keep doing that, and you have to start from 10 puffs, and then you have to go down. So basically you keep doing and keep going and keep doing it, which is quite tedious, and you get really tired, and over a few days you're absolutely knackered if you do overnight thing over a few days. So this season, going into autumn and then into winter, he's had nothing. And normally when we used to put the heating on, he would start reacting, and he would have the bunged up nose. I don't know if anybody here who had asthma episodes or had issues with asthma or breathing, let me know. But yes, so it was a problem, and now it's all gone. He's breathing normally, he's not reacting to heating, so it's marvelous. So it's wonderful to know that you can regenerate yourself, you can regenerate and help those who are around you, and that actually does spread on people and pets who are around you, because I know for the fact my cats are all healthy. I've got 2 cats now. I've had another cat before. She lived till 16, believe. She had nothing ever wrong with her, and when she was dying, she went within a week, and we all knew. She told us, and anyway, I digress. So when you start vibrating on this frequency of stillness, of peace, of harmony, it just spreads, and it just fills up the space around you. what exactly about Kundalini yoga practice is it that brings about that kind of healing? Yeah, thank you. That's a wonderful question. What brings about that kind of healing? So the secret, and that used to be a massive secret, because these teachings, they are ancient and they come to us from the Himalayas and Tibet area, but they were not available for normal people. And the secret is that you go back to your nature. You go back to the true self of who you are, and you relax into who you are. So if I said to you, yeah, can you go back to who you are and who you truly are? This is simply said, but actually very hard to do, because you'll be telling me probably, oh no, I can't possibly do that because of this. I can't possibly behave like I only have myself to care about. I can't possibly give time to it. So there'll be so many excuses, because we are conditioned, like so many layers of conditioning, and not only of this lifetime. There are conditioning that happen in our parents, in the parents of our parents, our grandparents. So conditioning runs generations and even centuries, and these conditions are in our cells. So when we are absolutely soaked in all that conditioning, to get back to our true self, it's a very hard task. You need a guide who can teach you and show you how to do that, how to go back to that harmonious state of who you are. So, for example, taking a pet. Okay, let's take a cat. So, for example, cats eat meat, right? They need meat for their diet. They are not vegetarians. Or cats, what they do, they're nocturnal, so they run around at night, sleep in the day, right? If we will go to the cat and say, okay, from now on, you're only eating vegetarian meals, and from now on, you're sleeping at night because I want you to sleep, because I don't want you giving me any headaches, and you can run around during the daytime. That's going to kill the animal, right? Because this is not natural to the cat, because it's just not its nature. And what do we do to ourselves? We think, okay, it doesn't matter what our nature is, let's just forget about this, and we just do things to comply and to conform with the society, so everybody can be happy with me, and everybody can tell me, oh, okay, you're a good girl, or you're a nice woman, or you are da. So we sacrifice our own harmony, our own truth, just to please others. And now just think about it. So it's a crime, really, because our true nature, we came to this plane because we have a gift of being who we are. Gift is not in, you can have more than that, more than just one gift, of course, yes, being kind and being loving and being this and that. Yes, these are all nice qualities, but your true gift is not like being a president or being a leader. Your true gift is being who you truly are. So if the universe said to you, I want you to be a blade of grass, because a cow's going to come and eat you and then produce some milk and whatever, and if you are not that blade of grass, or maybe you are a blade of grass but you pretend that you're a hedgehog, what's good is that doing? What's use is it for the universe, right? Cow's gonna come to eat the grass and there's a hedgehog meeting her. Cow's gonna miss out. All right, and then the whole chain reaction happens because of it. Just because somebody decided they're not a blade of grass but something else. And that's why universe not gonna kick us or complain about us or start loving us or stop loving us, but universe needs us to be who we truly are. And we come here on our own as a soul. Yes, we meet people and we become friends and we have family, constellations, etc. But we come as a soul on our own, and we're going to leave this plane on our own. So, all that we've done in between created all these things that we forgot about our soul, we forgot about ourselves. We sacrificed it just to be pleasant and comfortable and conforming to others just so they don't have a bad time. It's a crime. So does that make sense? Does that resonate? Let me know what are you feeling about this. I'm enjoying this. That was such a good question. I really love that question. It does. Okay, good. Okay. Yes, super, isn't it? So that's what Kundalini Yoga does, and all the meditations of the Kundalini Yoga. And the reason this has opened up for us is because the master had heard the message in his heart to open up these teachings to everyone. Just like Patanjali back in his days, he felt the need to kind of structurize all the teachings about yoga into the sutras. The same way Master of Kundalini Yoga felt that these teachings are needed, because people are going to get more mad, people are going to get more crazy with the speed of the time and amount of information that we're being bombarded with. He wanted to help us. He was so compassionate. He was prepared to put his life at stake. He was prepared to put his life at stake, but so we can benefit and so we can change our lives and help ourselves with these teachings. Because before these teachings, like I said, they were only open for Rajas. Before Rajas, they were only open to yogis who would just retreat into the mountains, and they will go on these monthly, yearly retreats, and they would just eat one leaf a day and maybe a spoonful of rice, and they just sit in a continuous meditation just so they can change their state of mind. But that was doing nothing for the people. So, Rajas just said to yogis, come down and share this with us so we can have the power. And of course, Rajas didn't want to share that power with people who were pawns and servants, because that would lead to society, uncontrollable society. And look what happens now. People are still asleep, people are not awake, and those who are sleeping, they're being controlled by anyone and any just like any old Joe blogs. Because look, we have AI and we're thinking we're controlling AI, but very soon AI will be controlling us, especially those who are not awake. And what I mean by being awake is being in control of your own mind, being in control of where you want to go in life, making decisions for yourself rather than accepting decisions of others as your baseline. And that's what being awake. Does that make sense? Let me know, or is there any questions about this so far? It does. Okay. Great. So yes, that's what being awake is. So this practice gives you so much more. This practice gives you the awakening and understanding of who you are, peeling the layers, unfolding. It gives you the clarity of the mind, because sometimes I was talking to this client yesterday. She doesn't even know what she wants. She just does, because this is bad, this is this. There's no clarity in her head as for the direction she wants to take. She's so lost. It's a tragedy. And and a lot of people are like that. So if that makes sense, if you experiencing like a foggy mind, then let me know, and we could do a bit of practice to actually get that clarity. And I mean, this practice is so phenomenal because you don't have to do it year or 20 years to get somewhere. Like with other yogas, you could spend maybe 15-20 years before you get anywhere. With these practices that I teach, you can spend 3 minutes and the whole state changes. So they're fast. And that's what I love about it. I mean, when I started, I was like, I don't have time to mess around. I just wanted to work like this so I can just change my mindset and off I go. So, shall we do a practice? Do you fancy doing a practice? Let me know, yes or no. I can continue talking. Yes, let's do practice. Okay, so for the practice, bring your hands into Gyan Mudra, so the index and thumb together. Place your hands onto your knees. You can be sitting in a chair or on the sofa or on the floor. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you have a straight spine and your palms looking up in that mudra. Okay, so close your eyes. Close your eyes. And start breathing normally. Just start relaxing your breath. Start relaxing and start landing into your body. Start feeling how your body is filling up with your essence, with the essence of who you are, with the essence of your soul. Okay, keep breathing. And as you now fully embodied into your body, into your case, into your vase, just give an overall observation. What is your anxiety level at the moment? From 0 to 10, 0 being no anxiety, 10 is the maximum anxiety. Just observe where the anxiety levels are at the moment. So mine is about 3-4. So if you want to share it, you can share it here. And what we're going to do is we just going to do a breath. Okay, so your anxiety levels 2. Okay, that's great. Is there any sensation in the body, any discomfort in the body that you feel at the moment that needs attention? Can you share it? Okay, stomach and shoulders. Okay, thank you. So what we're going to do, we're going to do this movement and breath. So you can carry on sitting with a straight spine. Now we're going to bring the hands onto the knees. So you're going to hold onto your knees, like you're grasping the knees, yeah? And you're going to bring the shoulders all the way up to the ears. At the same time, you'll inhale through the nose. And then you drop with the intent and exhale through the mouth. Okay, so inhaling, shoulders up, exhaling through the mouth. So continue doing that. You can close your eyes as you do this. And you can go quite fast or you can go quite slow. It's up to you. Just feel what feels better, faster or slower. Keep going as you do this movement and the breath. You feel how you're dropping all the weight of your shoulders, just intently dropping it, especially the weight that does not belong to you, which is not your weight. Maybe you're carrying something for your parents, something for your neighbor, or maybe you know a secret that your friend told you and you just feel it just so heavy. Why on earth they shared that with you? Why did they think that you had the resource to carry it for them? So just really exhaling all of that heaviness and tension through the mouth. Just a little bit longer. You might be already feeling like slight emptiness in your head, like lightness in your head, because the oxygen is rushing into your head. And let's inhale. Bring the shoulders up to the ears and squeeze the shoulders and stretch the spine as much as you can. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Cannon breath out. Drop the shoulders. Inhaling again. Squeezing the shoulders up, 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 up. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Cannon breath out. Drop. And last time, inhale. Squeeze squeeze the shoulders, squeeze the neuroses. Count and breath out. And keep your eyes closed. Stay in that space. You can place your hands together, palms up, and just feel whatever sensations are happening in your body, whatever insights are happening in your body. Relaxing your breath. Hi Catherine, it's been such a long time. How are you doing? So yes, let's see how we feel now after having a couple of minutes of this breath. How do you feel? Do you feel the space? There's now space in the head. There's lightness in the shoulders. How does it feel for you? Please share with us. I had a big emotional release. Oh, bless you. Lots of lightheadedness. Yeah. You know, emotional release is incredible, because it just shows how much we carry in ourselves. And just 2 minutes of breath and shoulders and allowing ourselves to let it go, allowing ourselves space just for ourselves, and accepting ourselves the way we are, with all that ugliness and with all the neuroses and God knows what on the inside. Just observing is massive, absolutely massive. And so this question comes, like people ask me, why do we need to meditate? And I know, like, some people think of meditation that is just sitting on the, on the cave, or in the cave, or on a stone somewhere very remote, and literally just breathing and going off somewhere in astral plane. But actually, meditation in this practice, in this lineage that I'm teaching, it's just coming back to yourself. We're not going anywhere. We'll go there when we die. We'll go back to the source. Go back to the light of our source. But we're here on this planet to make an experience, enjoy our lives. I mean, how many of us enjoying our lives? I'd like to know. Not many. And I keep getting clients, and that's just the underlying problem. Nobody's enjoying themselves. Pleasure is like, nobody knows what pleasure is, apart from like having a piece of cake with a tea or coffee. That's as far as we go. So with coming back to yourself, to your own stillness, to your own peacefulness, to your own peace of mind, to your own harmony, that's what can fulfill us. That's what can give us that extra resource. That's what can fill us up. And that's what can fill us up to such a degree that we're able to share with others, that we are not drained. I mean, I was talking to someone else today, and she said, like, she does a lot of streams and a lot of lives, and she says, I am drained after I've done it. But I'm not drained for like being here and sharing this, because this is ecstatic. because I know this is going to help somebody. If you do the practice, this is definitely going to help you. And why do I know? Because I've practiced, and I practice every day, and because it helps me every day. And what I was before this, I was a nervous wreck. My pet could really knock me off my off my balance. I could get mad at my pet. Now, is that normal? No, it just says that my nervous system just completely overwhelmed. So that's not okay. If we as mothers start to shout at our children, or we get a short fuse with them, or with our partners, or with our parents, we have no energy, no space for them. How can we interact with people, for God's sake, if we can't even interact with the loved ones around us, because we haven't got any energy left, because we're drained. And all of that happens because we are so full of these thoughts. These thoughts just overpowering and running our lives, that we don't have the space for the life to live. So what we need to do is we need to do the practice every day, so we can cleanse our mind, so we can purify it, so there is plenty of room for the goodness of who we are. So for those who've just joined, if you have any questions, we're just talking about the practice which I have been doing for the past 15 years, and it's been a lifesaver. If it wasn't for the practice, I would not stayed with my partner for 15 years, honestly, because I've had the other two and they were toxic relationships, and I have managed to change my pattern of how my relationships are working, and why I always choose a bloody toxic partner. I have changed that just by doing the practice. And trust me, I am not the fluffiest and best and the most kindest person in the world. I have my moments, right? But because I was able to consciously accept this as part of me, and accept my faults or mistakes or downfalls, whatever you want to call it, my humanness, because I was able to accept my own humanness, I can accept this humanness from the other person. I can see them being mad, I can see them being crazy, I can see them being unreasonable. But that's okay. It does not trigger me anymore, because I can understand it. I've been there myself, but I can understand it with compassion. And I just have them space. I let them have their vent. That's okay. I don't need to change anybody. If we can just focus on ourselves and be so self-centered, for just focusing on ourselves and focusing on our health, focusing on our well-being, focusing on our clarity of mind, then would we not be a better human? Of course we would. And isn't that wonderful that we have these tools in this day, in this age, to do that? We have the tool to cleanse all of that generational karma, generational patterning, all of the suffering that our great-grandmothers had been through. We have the chance to cleanse it, purify it, and elevate and transform. So that is super exciting. So what I also wanted to share today is that there's two things. I'm starting personal consultations, and for those who are online today and for the 24 hours, I am giving a special deal on for people, for 5 people who want to jump on for the personal consultations. So online, the price is my online price, website price is 120. But for those 5 people who watching this and maybe watch it in on replay, I give 5 spaces, and the personal consultation will be £100. And what it means that it's a personal mentoring opportunity. So you'll be guided. We will have a session, we'll have a Zoom session in which you'll share with me what you want to work on, and I will try to get to the root of that problem or issue. And I will then sit in a meditation and I will feel what is the right practice for you specifically. It's no good going and just picking any old practice out there, or maybe from my reels. I mean, these are all good practices, but what is the best practice for you at this moment is more important, because then that will work directly with that block. And so once I've defined the practice for you, we will have a Zoom session where we can practice that. I will teach you how to practice this set, the exercises, the warm-ups, the relaxation and the meditation, and I will guide you through all the steps, and it will be recorded. You will then have your personal recording to lean on for the next 30 days as you do the practice, and then you will be feeding back to me, and I will be keeping an eye on you for the 30 days. And I even want to throw in the healing, Sat Nam Rasayan healing, which I normally do for £60. It's a 45-minute session, but if you sign up as my client for the personal mentoring, then you get the healing as part of that as well. So healing happens as you lie down. You can be in person or you can be in your own home. We can do it distantly. Again, we talk about the issue you want to work on, then you lie down, switch the phone off. I sit in the silence and I feel you at the distance. I smell you, I hear you, I feel you. I take all 5 senses into that space, and whatever blocks and tendencies you have, I will feel in my body, because we're all connected, right? And I will feel that in my body and I will be dissolving them. And this is incredible. This is such an incredible thing. And it works especially for those people who, can't do exercises. So yeah, it just shifts your mindset, shifts the blocks, shifts tendencies. It's just incredible. So I'm throwing in that into this offer. So you'll get not only 30 days of my close attention, you'll get one session of Sat Nam Rasayan healing, which normally costs £60, and you'll have your personal recording of the set and meditation to do for 30 days, so you can work this issue out, so you can change your mental patterning, which has been bugging you for the past however many years, so you can just like flick it out of your system and be liberated from it and live your life freely. So yeah, so for 5, I have 5 spaces left. There were 10, now there's 5, and for 24 hours this will be open. So if you want to sign up, you can just private message me and we can talk about the details. And another thing I wanted to talk about is the teach training, level 1 teach training. If you want to learn the tools of these meditations, how they work, why they work, which parts of the body the different meditation work on, the breath, the patterns of the breath, the mudras, the mantras. We have a whole chapter on Shabad Guru and the quantums of the sound, how sound can affect you just by reading and reciting a short Shabad or short mantra. You can change your vibration. These are very sacred teachings, as I said, very ancient, and this is just incredible. I mean, we have mantras for millionaire mantras, literally, and by reciting them every single day, you're opening up to the flow of prosperity. So we have so much. We have Shabads for relationships, Shabads for healing your mother phobia. Honestly, you name it, they're just so much. And when you get to teach training, you get 2 manuals and you get a 3rd book, which is, I've got it here, which is Japji Sahib, which is the Song of the Soul, a sacred text. Just by reading this, which has 40 stanzas or 40 pauris, like 40 parts, just by reading this, you aligning all of your 8 chakras and 5 elements. You know, we have the air, water, earth, fire, ether. So everybody has 5 elements. They're called 5 tattvas. And so 5 elements, 8 chakras. So each chakra affected by 5 elements, gives us 40. 5 times 8 is 40. And so by reading this Song of the Soul, Japji Sahib, you are realigning, balancing all of that just by reading this text. So we have so much. And so this teach training, so going back to that, you will learn this on the teach training. That's for those who want to go further and learn the tools to then share them with others, or maybe just for yourself. So you can just decide, okay, I want this correction done, like this is not quite up to speed in my life, I want to change this in my life, and you just go to the books and you have all the kriyas, all meditations there, and you just choose the one that is right, and off you go, you're done, which is brilliant. So the discount that I'm offering today is £100 off the price of the total price of the training. Training takes 9 months, just like a pregnancy. So like you're gonna birth yourself at the end of it. You're gonna birth true self at the end of it. And we start in March next year and we finish in November next year. And August is free, but there are like about 4 days of training every 2 months. So we will meet for 4 days, then you'll have 2 months to digest and kind of assimilate this experience and do your own practices, and then we meet again and so on. Okay, so the dates are on my website. And the full price of the training is £2,300. So £100 off will give you 2,200. And then we require a deposit of £300 before start of the training. So then you will be left with 1,900 to pay. And you can have a payment plan to spread. And I was calculating the other day, I think if you start paying in, say, if you were to pay deposit this year and start payment plan in January, it will be something like £220 a month that you'll have to pay to finish off payment for the training. So yes, so if you sign up today or within 24 hours, of this life, you'll get £100 off the price of the Teach Training. And on top of that, you'll get 3 months subscription with me, with all my lessons. So I teach twice a week, Wednesday and Thursday. You can come in person or online. So you'll have all of those classes to attend. You will also have gong baths and rebirthing sessions included. I normally have 1 gong bath and 1 rebirthing session every 6 weeks or so, or maybe sometimes every month, depends. Okay, so this will be thrown in on top of the £100 discount from the Teach Training price. Okay, so yes, so how does that sound? Any questions? Yeah, these are like super gifts, and I was like super excited to share. I love giving gifts because I really love receiving gifts myself. So I feel like it's nice. Giving something extra. So, do we have any questions? And do we have... super interested in training. Okay, I'll read more about it on my website and reach to you. Okay, yeah, you're feeling called to it. Yeah, exactly that. I mean, when the same reason I felt called to come to yours the other night. Wonderful. I'm so glad. And that's what actually the Age of Aquarius is all about. It's about living through the heart. It's not about living through the head, because look, we can't trust the head, yeah? Because one day the head says, oh, this partner, I love him or I love her. The day after, the head says, oh no, I hate him or I hate her. What? Come on, make your mind up. We can't really trust it, right? But what we can trust is our heart. So if your heart pulls you, then trust it, because that's the only guide, the only compass within you that will tell you the truth. And when I tell you my story. When I was doing regular Kundalini classes 15 years ago, and within maybe like few sessions of just regular Kundalini yoga classes, I was like, I want to go to Teacher Training. No idea what that is, no idea why. I just know I have to do it. I just knew it. And remember, I was a single mom. At that time, my son was diagnosed with diabetes. The son, who is now 23. So I felt like I was like struck by the bus. Right? Never mind. But what happened? I had to give up work, but I had all the money started to come in, and I was like, what the hell? What's happening? I'm not working. My son is ill, but universe is throwing money at me. And I was like, this is unreal, because my setup in my head was I had to work, my son had to be good health, I had to be good health in order to live normally. But this was like all backwards, and my stereotypes were broken. And I was like, how does that work? And what happened then, even though I didn't have the money to pay for the whole training, I had the money to put deposit down. And then every month I'd come to the training, things will shift and the money will come in. And I was like, this is just amazing, because if I'm getting this kind of support from my universe, then that means I'm doing something right. Because why would else this work out, right? So that was like, I love things like that. And I'm sure the same will happen to all the people who are thinking about it, who feeling the call, but kind of a bit stuck with, okay, I'm not sure I can afford it. Yeah. So yeah, and the great thing is, I mean, I've been training people for the past 7 years. Yeah, so I have been practicing a lot. And the lead trainer who will be teaching on that training is from America. She's Vietnamese, and she is incredible soul. She's just so refreshing, and she's so full of life, and she is so, what's the word, enthusiastic, but I'm looking for the word. She's a rebel. She is totally a rebel, and that's actually a really good quality, because if we want to change something, if we want to break a common established stereotype, that being a rebel and going with what you feel is the right thing to do. So yeah, so super. Okay, Patty, I will put you down as interested, and yeah, reach out to me. Let's talk about it more. I have got other people who are also waiting to pay. Thank you for all the hands and hearts and flowers. Hey, amazing. Yeah, so yeah, it'll be super. I'd love to have you on a training with us. So for those who've just joined, welcome. We were just doing a little practice, and I was sharing something about myself. Please share where you are in the world at the moment and what is your real name. Талина планета. Guru serve. Okay, so is that all clear? Do you want me to tell you about my teachers, who my teachers are, who I learned from? Or is it enough for tonight? We've been going on for, oh my God, we've been going on for 1.5 hours almost. Okay, so I'll tell you about my teachers quickly, and then and then we'll probably finish off, because time flies, right, when you're enjoying yourself. So yeah, so I've learned from a lot of different teachers. One of my teachers, Hari Haji, she was the first teacher trainer in England, and she has been doing it for 40 years. I mean, she's going to be 70 in January. She is absolutely fantastic soul, and I'm really grateful for everything she's done. And back in those days, the way they were taught, there was nobody to train teachers. There was nobody. They were like, whoever would turn up to the class, they will kind of stone, paper, scissors, and they decide who teach in the class. So it was insane back then, right? But anyway, so she was one of the first teacher trainers who could teach others how to be teachers. And what she was telling me, that there was no manuals. If you didn't write it, you didn't have it. So, but now it's much easier. There are manuals, and there are lots of explanations, and actually the training is not how you would train going to university or the college, for example. There's no assignments, there's no essays, anything like that. Whatever you receive into your heart. And that's what was great for me, because when I was training and I was starting, I was like, how on earth am I going to learn everything about this body and anatomy and all the names of the muscles in the body in English, because I'm not English. English is not my mother tongue. I was absolutely in panic, but I didn't need to be, because the teaching, it was like a package. My teacher put it into my heart, and it slowly unravels, just like that little flower. Just one more petal opens up, and that's how the wisdom is keep opening up in you, which is just marvelous. And you can have the security of that, knowing that it's not going to be ever lost, because it's within you. And my other teacher, who I'm learning from now, is Kabolova Daria. She is from Russia originally. She lives in Spain now, and she was taught by the master of Sat Nam Rasayan healing, and she learned with him for 20 years directly. He's no longer alive, and Daria was is in practice for 28 years, so she is such an expert in how to bring you into stillness. And I'm learning from her, how to be in that stillness, how to feel my way through life, how to feel people, how to feel situations. I mean, this Sat Nam Rasayan healing is another commodity I have, and also it's just so marvelous, because you can have a situation and all you have to do is heal it. I was having a situation with some money. I was waiting for some invoices to be paid, some like quite hefty invoices, and I was like, I kind of need some nurturing into my bank account. And then I was like, why don't I heal it? So I just sat down, closed my eyes, like centered myself, went into that stillness, into shunya within myself, and just tried to heal the situation, like was kind of bringing the situation into this stillness and dissolving it. And lo and behold, the money were paid like a couple of days later. Like, it's phenomenal. I just love it. And the thing is also about it, what I love is that I don't have to pretend to be anybody else but myself, which is very relaxing. It is extremely relaxing just to be yourself, just to throw off all the masks, just to let go all the layering and facades and pretense, and you just be, okay, this is me. I'm not perfect. I'm a human. And that's what's so wonderful about me. And then you help others do the same. It's so rewarding because you allow people to relax. All the practices allow people to relax. Now, who's doing that nowadays? Not many. But you can be this light that ignited and keeps reigniting itself, and that process, that circulation of the light within you is going to expand your radiance, and it's going to radiate so much so people around you will start to feel it and will start changing, because they will be reminded that, that light, that's why we're here. That's why we came from. That's where we came from. And that's just marvelous. And so many things changed for me since I've started on this path. I know that not only the neighbors changed, I know that I've healed. One of the situations I've healed is we used to get into the houses or properties, whether it's rented or we were buying it, which had really bad access and we healed it, and now we have marvelous access. There's so much parking on the road, people can just park. but before it wasn't like that. So like small things, but it matters. And it brings the magic back into the life, and it brings the enjoyment back into the life, and you become this kind of a young girl again, that carefree in a good sense, carefree and innocent and just joyful. So what can be better? I've got other two teachers who I'm learning from at the moment. It's the teachings of the 7 arrows, and these are Helena Lovendal and Kim McCabe, and they spreading their teaching about these 7 arrows, which are the 7 dark arrows, then the 7 light arrows, and 7 rainbow arrows. So basically dark arrows are arrows of the ignorance and the levels of ignorance, and how we can counteract it or annulate them, null them with the light arrows. And so so again, that's a magnificent teachings. That's from the I forget, it's from this I can't remember the source, so I apologize about that, but my heart is thinking about it and feeling them through me. So they are guiding me to help the young women, girls 10, 11, 12 years of age, because this particular live is for adults, but I just mention it about the girls. When we are 10, 11, 12, we go through a rite of passage, whether we want it or not, whether there's society accepting it or not, whether the society honoring it or not, we still go through the rites of passage. And so these two women, Kim McCabe and Helena Lovendal, they focusing a lot of energy on healing the girls, giving them the tools, because it's such a crucial moment in the life of a girl to become a woman. So she has the tools to then apply them as she grows up, to find that anchor within herself and that strength within herself, so later on she doesn't have to rely on the outside sources and conform and be conditioned into somebody she's absolutely not. Hope that makes sense. So these are all my teachers at the moment, and I'm really, really honoring them. And of course my lead trainer, Haridas Kaur, she is going to be teaching on the training, level 1 training. And she has so much light to give, and she is one of so many siblings. Oh my god, is that 9 siblings? I'm gonna have to check again with her. So, but she is very family orientated, and she makes wonderful tantric necklaces. I've got so many tantric necklaces from her. So they change your frequency as well. There's a sacred technology in making tantric necklaces. So gosh, I have spoken for 1.5 hours non-stop, but there's just so much to share. There's just so much to share, and I really hope you've enjoyed spending time with me as much as I've enjoyed spending time with you. And lovely seeing everyone, and lovely to see those who will watch it in record. And just to remind you that we have these 2 offers. One is for the personal consultation at £100, and another one is the teach training discount of £100, and plus all the bonuses on top. And the bonuses are, for teach training you get 3 months subscription for all my classes. Wednesday and Thursday, plus gong bath, plus rebirthing. And for the personal consultation, you get it. You get £20 off, so the total price is £100. And I will guide you for 30 days. You'll have a private consultation, which will be recorded with practices aimed specifically for your issues. And you also get one Sat Nam Rasayan healing, which is worth £60. Thank you, Patty. Thank you so much. And I'm sending you a massive, massive hug from where I am. And thank you so much for being here with me tonight and asking your wonderful questions. I really, really enjoyed it. So be well. Get in touch with me, and I will speak to you very soon. Lots of love. Bye bye.